Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry all in these. What's good? What's good? What is good? We are back in the Doja room. It is your boy, Dope Boy Diesel, back once again. Let me just get me let me just get me back on the screen. Look, man, they've been updating shit. What's good? It's your boy Dope Boy Diesel. We back in the Doja room. Let me just make sure that we are up and running right now. Make sure y'all can hear me. And make sure everything is cool. So yeah, today, to all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, it's the Iceman review. Okay, it's the Iceman review. Took my time to listen to this album. All three albums, really. I've been listening to a little bit of all of them, but mainly I've been listening to Iceman. All right, yeah, we good. We can hear. All right, yeah, mainly I've been listening to Iceman. Digesting that, really just, you know, taking that all in, and I got a lot to say about it. It's an amazing project. But real quick, if this is your first time in the Doja room, you're gonna want to go ahead and make sure that you follow me on all platforms. Okay. If you're watching here on X, go ahead and make sure that you go ahead and follow me on X. All right. Drake and Five at Dope Boy Diesel. We told y'all, you know what I'm saying? I tried to tell them Drake and Five, they didn't want to listen to me. They thought it was a joke. But yeah, we just sat patiently and waited, and now we here. So go ahead and make sure that you jump into the Doja Room community, where we'll be giving our official reviews, things like that. You're going to also want to follow me because we do put out articles as well. I'll be putting out more articles. Have to get back into the swing of things. As I said, I'm currently moving the Doja room. All right. We moving things around a little bit. Life going on, kid being born, upgrading, things like that. So I appreciate everybody for rocking with me. I appreciate everybody for sticking with me for this long. If you've been with me for a bit of time, then you already know what it is. I gotta get my lighting right. You know what I'm saying? Something that ain't too aggressive. I'm looking a little dark in here. But yeah, I'm glad to be back with you guys here in the Doja room. To all my stoners, hippies, and hip hop enthusiasts, please light your blunts. Kind of already lit mines. If you need to take a shot, take a shot. Sit back, relax. We're gonna get into some Iceman today, and yeah, it's gonna be damn good. It's gonna be damn good, guys. Okay, a lot to really break down and review. Let's just get into it. Well, today we're going to be getting into some people's opinions on the album. Uh, Obviously, I'll be getting into my opinion as well on the album. But we got a lot to break down. Let me just pull up that. Gotta pull up that cover art. So yeah, and if you guys are listening in to the live stream, go ahead and join the conversation. Let us know what you think about the album as well. I think like I said, I think we've been giving it enough time. I think we've given it enough time personally, to form an opinion. I've been listening to it every day nonstop. Um, and you know, it's just been that good. I can say, from my perspective, you know, um, Drake doesn't always drop a project that I immediately can just take to. I'm listening to every song. Obviously, when some sexy songs dropped last year and we reviewed that, we talked about that. That was the album that I said, it was just easy to hop into. It was easy to just put on, turn your brain off, have a good time, sing along, a bunch of bops, a bunch of hits, um, some different vibes in there as well, and it all came together real nicely. Here on Iceman, I can say that Drake has delivered once again. He's given us a project that I think we're going to be talking about for generations. We're going to be talking about this album. We're going to be talking about this comeback, which has been it's been an amazing comeback. Okay, it's been an amazing comeback. Drake has not only taken everything in stride. He's not only sat and watched and listened to the constant conversations being formed around his name and how his name has been being used all this time. He's flipped the script. Drake in 5, man. I told you niggas, man. He's flipped the script. He's come back to deliver a project that I would say personally, I would argue is his most lyrical project yet to date. If you ask me personally, I think this is Drake's most lyrical project. I think this is his most lyrical album, rap album that he's put out. Um, and we'll go track by track, of course. But this project has shown that Drake's best years are not behind him. It shows that he can still bring these concepts. He can still bring, the visuals. He can still hit niggas where it hurts. He can talk his shit. He can talk to the ladies. He can make the club anthems. He can make the ride in the car. The sun is setting. It's raining outside. He makes music that fits any situation. And if you don't like this form of Drake, then you didn't like Scorpion. You didn't like him back then. And we're going to get into it. You're going to see a couple of people's opinions. But if you didn't like Drake when he dropped Scorpion and you didn't like Scorpion, I don't understand how you're still here giving an opinion. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Drake has dropped a monumental classic. Okay? I'm stamping it here first. This is a monumental classic. This is something that I've just been able to jump right into. And my favorite songs are on repeat. But I've also been listening to the end project in its entirety, and then I just go back and listen to my favorite songs. I said this in a space with my boy Mills, and I think this really stamps like a different tier that Drake is hitting for me. Pause. But he's successfully checked off everything that I've had on my checklist. Everything that I've needed for him to deliver in this project, he's delivered. He has not let his foot off these fuck niggas' necks. He hasn't. He has not let his foot off of their necks. He has not let his foot off the gas. He is not listening to his detractors' advice when it comes down to the music that he needs to put out. Why? Because as you see, these niggas is going to say the music is trash. They're going to get on here and get their clicks and engagement. They were waiting on this day. They were waiting on Drake to drop so that their pages, their channels can have some type of life again. I mean, he gave them 43 songs. Not only us, but them. 43 songs for them to pick apart and be disingenuous and talk this bullshit as if he hasn't dropped a seemingly instant classic. Doing things that has never been done before with dropping 3 albums at once. He's checked off my entire checklist. He delivered the lyrics. He got to straight rapping. Plus the rapping is digestible. Okay? We can listen to the bars and still bop. You feel me? We can listen to the bars and still bop. We can listen to the bars and still have a good time, y'all. We don't have to do homework. We got anthems and we don't have to do homework. We don't have to be hip hop scholars. I mean, if you know rap, you know rap, and Drake is rapping on an entirely different level right now. But if you know rap, you know rap. Okay? If you know rap, you know rap. But I truly think that with this album, homie is just hitting a different tier. He's doing everything that I needed him to do. Like I said, he's providing the raps, he's providing the bops. But something that I didn't expect him to check, he provided visuals for damn near every song. A visual album. He gave us visuals, and I've always sat here and been like, damn, this Drake song, you know, this song has visuals, this song has visuals, but he never does visuals for my favorite tracks on the album. Drake seemingly always does visuals for like my least favorite track on the album. And in this, he did visuals for damn near every track. So that was a big plus in my book. He got major points for that one. I think that he definitely deserved flowers for that one, and he definitely got a bump up. So not only did he provide the visuals, he provided, like I said, different vibes, different for different areas of life. Obviously, shit like Shebang, Ran to Atlanta, songs like that are gonna go in their proper settings, and then some. You know, as far as like TikTok and shit like that, which we're already seeing a spark of some viral dances and things like that going on surrounding these songs. But you also have the vibes like Make Them Pay, that just gives that different vibe, maybe like when you're riding in the car, like I said, when it's raining or when that sun is rising, you on the way to work. It just has a different type of feeling the further you go into the album. So he gets points for that. The production is obviously A1. Drake and 40 back at it again, doing God's work. Doing God's work, okay? And I always love when Drake is with his day ones delivering, just delivering the shit that we fell in love with the music and fell in love with the artist for. So shout out to yeah, and any other producers that worked on this project. Y'all definitely deserve your flowers. The production was A1. Listening to the project in headphones or in out loud in speakers. I haven't sat and listened to the entirety of the project and just drove. Obviously, I've skipped straight to my favorite song so far, but even in the car, like I said, certain shit it just goes, um, and it just fits perfectly. So on that aspect, for me, 10 out of 10. The production is a 10 out of 10. The lyrics, the rapping, for me is a 10 out of 10. Um, we didn't get a song like "Way Too Sexy," a song with Drake. Drake was not playing in in this album. He was not playing with you niggas. He was coming with the heat. He was coming with a vengeance. He was coming with a chip on his shoulder. And for that, like I said, the rapping has to be a 10 out of 10 too, because uh, there was no in between for Drake in this. There was no wasted bars. I feel like there was no playing with his food. The nigga got to it. He got to it. I'm sorry, but he got busy. And if you really sit back, and we'll get into some of the lyrics in some of these songs, but if you really sit back, a lot of this shit reads like almost like he's in a battle rap. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels like he's in a fucking a fucking 2 hour long round, just going off. Okay, so he's delivered on that. Another classic intro where he's talking his shit. Um, it's it's an amazing body of work that has been delivered. And I hope that we continue to get more music like this, because um, this is the Drake that I always want. This is the Drake that I want every project, okay? And for me to get that Drake, for him to deliver on that level, I mean, are there some songs that I would leave out of the album? Yes. Burning Bridges is growing on me, but off the first listen, from the first reaction, that was one song that I probably would have left out. Ran to Atlanta is also growing on me, but again, initially, that was something that I said that I could probably leave this out. So those two tracks, I was kind of like, eh. But both of those tracks also are growing on me. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm seeing how they're functioning, I'm seeing how ASAP Rocky has to live with this meme of Drake asking you where she at, where she at, where she at, and every time you post, I mean, you might as well not even post. Let's just be honest. Nigga might as well not even post on social media right now. It's not safe. Only the most delusional Kendrick Lamar fans are still out here in the field trying to argue this album with us. But I truly feel like Drake has delivered a project that is undeniable. If you are saying that this album is complete trash, then like people were saying, 10 minutes, an hour, and even if you were 2 hours in saying it was trash, the nigga delivered 3 albums, about two and a half hour 2.5 hours. Okay, I don't understand how you niggas is reviewing albums that quick, but it just shows how disingenuous people move. It shows how you niggas never planned on giving this album a fair shot. You didn't. I mean, you You listen to an album like this, and it completely outclasses anything that was dropped this year, last year, or the year before that. Completely. Completely. Okay? Um, so I want to get into some of the track list. Let's do that because there's a lot to unpack with that alone. And I want to go track by track here. I want to go track for track right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get on here. Okay. We got Make Them Cry. Okay. Here we got Drake delivering another classic intro. Um, and it went, I believe this went number one first. Um, Breaking the Not Like Us record, so poetic in the name alone, Make Them Cry, which we were getting a lot of crying that night. We were getting a lot of tears, okay? But here I think Drake obviously adds to another classic intro. This is where the stream started. We got that beautiful scene of Toronto, the CN Tower, going along with this just poetic, that timestamp esque rap, that timestamp esque bag that Drake has, which he went in. I feel like he gave us a couple of timestamp records on this album alone. And everybody loves the Drake timestamp records. Everybody knows those shits are not undeniable. So for niggas to come through and just say this whole album is trash, again, we know that it has to be we know that has to be cap. So again, um another classic intro. Then we get Dust, um, which I like the way the vibe changes. I like the use of Adonis. Um, I just love everything that he did here. Um, and we can even get into some of the lyrics, obviously. Hold on. I got another page for the lyrics. And real quick, if you're in here, go ahead and like the stream. Go ahead and repost. Appreciate anybody stopping in. Everybody who is stopping in. We live on Kick. We live on Rumble. We live on X. We live on YouTube. We live on all platforms. We live on Twitch. So go ahead and get in here. Whatever platform you're watching on, make sure that you hit us with a like. And if you're on YouTube, hit us with a subscribe and hit us with a hype. I appreciate everybody stopping in. All right. So, and he's taking over the charts. I think he got the top 10 tracks on the charts. All Drake tracks, by the way, of course. Of course. Um, so here, actually, we can start with let's start with Make Them Cry because, as I said, it's another classic intro. You got Drake really going in here and, like I said, and this is what I don't like. A lot of motherfuckers come through here and talk about how Drake needs to grow up. He's not introspective. He has these degenerate bars and things like that. But you can't come into an album like this and leave thinking these all of this bullshit that people were saying leading up into this album. Okay? I just want to get to some of the best bars. Um, because Drake was really talking. Talked about this is when he said, "Our brother sold his chain the other day and said that someone snatched it. I'm still processing that shit. It got me distracted. I think he's so desperate, and our life is going fantastic. He don't have the heart to come and tell us he pawned it for cash. Shit like that. This is why I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he really getting into this shit and really just putting all of it out there. Really just telling us and chronicling his life. Shit like that. And like I said, I'm going to bars like that because these are the standout bars for me to say that how can you niggas listen to this and be like, oh nah, this nigga is like you're 40, what are you talking about? What are you niggas talking about? What makes you think that the person in the raps and the slaps and the bops that made us fall in love with this guy, pause. What makes you think he should switch that up and change? He's giving us some new flavor, obviously. But what makes you think he should switch that up and change when he still can deliver on this caliber? He's still talking and giving you, wearing his heart on the sleeve, giving you his thought process. Really breaking shit down. Said, fuck it, I'll battle the label. Fuck it, I'll battle the majors. I'll battle the stations till my ass back in rotation. Drake ain't getting no radio play right now. He ain't in rotation like that right now. He came out of pocket. Seemingly, the reports being that he came out of pocket 10 million. Yeah, 10 million of his own money put into ICEMAN. And this is what I mean when I say he's hitting the checklist. This is everything that we were saying Drake should do. Go back and listen to my streams and the videos and things like that. This is exactly what I was saying Drake should do. Take your own money. Put your own money on their head. Spend your own money. Don't let nobody stop you. Flood the airwaves. He got it. It's going to take... we said this. We said it's going to take you spending a couple of M's. It's going to take you digging deep into that bag. Digging deep into that 400 mil. You got it. It's going to take you digging into that, getting full freedom, being fully creative, fully fleshing out your vision. Not letting anybody stop you from what you need to say and what needs to be said, what needs to be heard, what needs to be understood. I'm just saying, y'all. Y'all not hearing me. They not hearing me. They not. Because really, when you get tracks like this, as I said, it shows the longevity that this man is capable of. The same way we can look at LeBron playing at 41, 42, that's how we should be looking at Drake. That's the same type of respect that an album like this should garner. Think about the respect. Now, you still, even LeBron has his detractors. Even LeBron has, as a Lakers fan, I can say that. You know what I'm saying? Even LeBron has the people who are still having disingenuous dialogue about what he's doing at this age, what he's doing in the game right now. It's almost impossible to please certain people. Certain people have just already decided that they're going to be the Skip Bayless to Drake's LeBron. Okay? And that's cool. That's fine. Obviously, Skip laid out the blueprint for a lot of you niggas to, you know, basically make up nothing. Basically bitch and moan about nothing. And again, we're going to get to some of the arguments that these people are making about this album after saying that Drake was done, after saying that Kendrick ended him, after saying that he should just go away and not say anything and just fade off into the ether. Because you see, even still with him active and being active every year since the battle, you see that a lot of these people want to rewrite history. They want Drake to go away. They want things to be quiet so they can kindly, you know, so they can quietly go into the history books and rewrite what we all seen, what we all heard, and, you know, how the outcome of this battle and how the battle really went. Without all the bots in rotation like they were 2 years ago, things are seemingly back to normal. You still have a lot of people who are on the payroll who want to talk down and who want to make up, like I said, whatever crazy ass points that they're making up these days to detract from this body of work. But it's getting old. It's getting weak. They're not standing on much, and the music is speaking for itself. He said, too many wide transfers. Now hold on, let me back up real quick. He says, I put the man in manipulation when I pay your rent, and that's an obligation to our attachment. Then I sprinkle a little Mercedes in fashion. If that's not enough for you, well, baby, go back then. You fucking dude at the spot that I got for you. Jesus. You gave him a reason to speak on my name. That's some weak shit. Still giving you right, putting his heart on the sleeve. Sis, you gotta be kidding, like nephews and nieces. I keep on rescuing these leeches. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I can't believe it, yeah. Too many wire transfers bound to have a good girl's morals tangled. The rent-free penthouse and the Van Cleef floral bangles and plenty more examples that had you going Dora the Explorer outside. Yo, I mean, while I turned a blind eye because it's more than painful. I think I also put the man in manifestation. Either I'm too numb to this shit or the city's changing. I bump into people and they act like we literally strangers. Random intrusive thought. But what happened to Taz Angels? I mean, he's just spitting and this shit is a diary. Is this not a diary? Is this whole album not a 2 year? Like, what more do y'all want from this nigga? What more do y'all? The nigga gave us a 2 year long diary, page after page, letting us into his thoughts, letting us know exactly what he was thinking about everything that was going on. What more do y'all want? I'm really asking. I'm really asking. What more do y'all want? What does this man have to do? What does he have to do to get the proper respect that an OG in the game, that a man who's had his foot on the game's neck for this long? No bots. He finally took both hands from behind his back and started boxing with you niggas. Still no bundles and physicals and all this shit. He still hasn't done that. But he's still stepping 10 toes toe to toe with you niggas. With no radio, no real radio rotation, no real radio play. And we know with radio play, that'll probably be another 100,000, 150,000 to his numbers. They don't want to see this man winning. They don't. We just gotta be honest. They don't want to see this man win. They don't. But make them cry again. Like I said, that's just one of those tracks that you really got to sit back and listen to and really realize this is a diary page that we listening to. Um, like I said, Dust did what it did. It's more, like I said, of a diary page for me. He's getting into talking that shit, but we get more into arguably one of, if not my favorite bop, in Janet Shut the Fuck Up. Okay? And in here, again, Drake was talking that shit. Okay? The hook, amazing. I love how Drake tackled these hooks with seemingly like a different sound and trying different things and fluctuations with his voice and tones and shit like that. I like that angle of it. It worked. It sounds good. It grows on you, and it becomes something that gets stuck in your head. So obviously, he can still deliver a great hook. He can still deliver a great body of work, a great song around that hook. And, I mean, this is one of those shits that it was just like paired with the visuals. It spoke to me differently than just hearing the song by itself. I feel like having the visuals along with the album made the album quicker to digest, quicker to take to. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, definitely, this was one of those tracks. I think this is gonna go and be number one for him right now when it's all said and done. Um, but definitely one of those tracks that put on full display that Drake is still Drake. He's still here. He's not going anywhere, and he's still going to deliver by himself. Nobody needed. Okay? Um, and just the whole theme of the songs. Said buried alive, someone come dig me up. If I call up your shorty right now, she picking up. You boys got big off my name. That's big enough. And I need Drake talking like this again because I need him day in and day out. Who we know. The only reason why a lot of you niggas have a name right now, The only reason why you niggas have some type of notoriety, the only reason why you niggas have some type of image is because of Drake right now. We just gotta be honest with that fact. We gotta be honest with this shit. The only reason why we know, or we've known half of you niggas for the past 2 years that keep popping up on our timelines and shit like that, it's because of Drake. And it makes you niggas sick because you have to listen to bars like this. You have to listen to lines like this. And this is why you're saying it's trash. Because Drake is talking to you niggas. You niggas who have to mention this nigga's name every single fucking day. Day in, day out. He's talking to you niggas who make multiple Drake posts a day. Multiple Drake posts a day. But you seemingly hate the nigga. He's talking to you niggas who said you hate the album and you ain't like Drake since Scorpion, since 2018. Lines like this made you niggas uncomfortable. Lines like this made it hard for you niggas to listen to this album. Because you know a lot of the shit that Drake is popping it at you niggas. Let's just be real. How does it feel that you don't like this man, but you have to talk about him for your page to be relevant? You have to talk about him to get owls to come through and talk back to you, to get this engagement, to get the same level of engagement. You niggas were in the Sahara Desert for the last couple of months. In the Sahara Desert, begging for water. You niggas were in the Sahara Desert walking, no shoes on, seeing mirages of Drake. You seeing the sixth god. You niggas was walking through that desert. Y'all was seeing the CN Tower. Y'all was seeing Drake doing the Hotline Bling dance. Y'all was seeing all of that shit. Walking through the desert. Hoping this nigga gives you some type of content. Giving you something. Y'all niggas was making shit up. Just talking about bullshit. It's sad. It really is sad. Now, a lot of these people thought that the previous record that we talked about, Make 'Em Cry, or that any of these songs, for that matter, would fail. They thought that it was going to fail to defeat Not Like Us in becoming the biggest hip-hop song debut of all time. They thought it would fail. They were hoping that it failed. They were. Unfortunately for them, that wasn't the case. And they have reduced themselves into the type of people who like to watch second day streams, third day streams, fourth day streams, fifth day streams. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? We got niggas out here right now, I promise you, it's sad. But we got niggas out here right now. Because as I said, they know Drake is talking about them. They know Drake is talking to these niggas. But we got niggas right now counting second, third, fourth, fifth, 6 day streams. Like, what the fuck are we even doing? Is this what you niggas have become? Is this what you niggas have become? I'm sorry, man.
Ironic, cause the ICEMAN was a nice man. Now I'm hot and cold.
Oh man. Oh man. This is what Drake made these niggas become. And they can't stand it. They can't stand it. So when Drake is saying, you boys got big off my name, that's big enough. They hate that they have to talk about this. Let's keep it a buck. At this point, I couldn't tell you if these niggas get a kick out of it or maybe they just, actually like Drake. I don't know. I don't know what they're getting out of this at this point. This deep into it. This deep into the back and forth or the beef or whatever you want to say. You would think if you're on the winning side, there would be nothing else to talk about. You would think if you were on the winning side of history, there would be nothing else to explain to Drake fans. There would be nothing. I mean, am I wrong? I had one person. It's hilarious because me and homie were going back and forth, and the nigga eventually ended up deleting the thread. Why? It's something that Kendrick fans typically do. You'll see this a lot when you start making sense. You start making too much sense. Niggas will just start deleting shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll just, oh, fuck it. Let me just delete the whole fucking thing. But it is hilarious. Wow, did he delete the whole thread? I think he did delete the entire thread. But lucky for you guys. I like to document things sometimes, but this evolving Eric. Let's just get one thing straight here. We're gonna run into a lot of these clowns that say they are quote unquote Drake fans, or you're somebody like this nigga who says Drake was my top listened to artist for the past several years. So, okay. First of all, when it comes to me, if you're on X, shout out to all my people on X and listening. If you follow me and you see my mutuals, you see the people that I'm following, we got mutuals. I already can kind of, you know what I'm saying? If you saying you a Drake fan and we got no mutuals, I already know the type of nigga you are. I already know the type of nigga you are, okay? We just got to keep it a buck with niggas like this. If you are claiming to be a nigga like this, where Drake is your top listened to artist every year, but you're here on X trying to convince Drake fans the albums aren't fire. Oh no, this is Drake fans are trying to convince the world that the albums are fire. Why do you got to make posts like these? What do you got to make posts? That's number one. So I kindly said, let's get into it. Because I kindly said, I said, the thing is, nobody is trying to convince y'all, which we aren't. Y'all act like us celebrating and enjoying artists dropping music is somehow affecting y'all. Bitch, you sound stupid. Well, then again, y'all got nothing else to do. They don't. They don't got anything to do right now. So he said, no, nigga, it's the fact that when anybody says it sucks, y'all gang up against them. Drake not gonna fuck you. Y'all all say the same shit. Like, shit is weird. It gets weird after a while. It gets weird after a while. They say you just assume that I don't like him. I can't say, by the way, I can't see what I said because he deleted the thread. So I had to take a screenshot, but it looks like he deleted the entire thread. Which, tweeting deleters, y'all already know the type of respect we got for them. Y'all already know the type of respect we got from them. Y'all already know the type of respect we got for tweeting deleters. So, most of everything that I said is gone. So, as you can read, it says, you just assume that I don't like him because I don't like this album. He's my number one listened to artist every year. That's what I keep telling you niggas. It's a reason, again, there's a reason why we don't have any mutuals. The Owls already determined this nigga was a clown. Way before I did. Way before I did. I don't even need to dig through his history and all of the bullshit that that one tweet alone, it says what I need to see. I just didn't like this album. And y'all on dick about it every time. LMAO. Again, I don't want to dig into this nigga's history to see what he had to say about some sexy songs. I don't want to dig into his history to see what he had to say about CLB or Scorpion or anything else or Her Loss. I don't. There's no need. There's no need. Because again, the Owls obviously determined that this nigga was a clown long before I did, and he blocked me after this. I wonder why. But again, me just explaining simply, bro, if you don't like this nigga, or if you don't like the album and you claim that you're a fan, he didn't necessarily say he's a fan. He never said that. He just said he's my number one listened to artist every year. It sounds like to me that you're a fucking closeted fan and you can't post your wrap up because it would expose you every year. So at some point, you just had to admit to it, nigga. You just had to come up and admit to, okay, yeah, he's my number one listened to artist. But again, I don't understand what some of these niggas get out of posts like these. I don't get what you like. It's been 5-6 days, brother. What do you get out of constantly, all of you niggas? It's been 5-6 days. You don't like the album, we get it. What are you getting out of constantly trying to make the world, remind the world that this is such a bad album? What are you getting out of this? Is it the post that him constantly breaking record after record really getting to you niggas that much? Is it the inevitable eventuality that he is going to break Michael Jackson's record? Is that getting to you niggas? Is it the fact that a lot of you niggas prayed that this day wouldn't come? And I told you, it's Drake and Five. What is it? This is a safe space. I gotta know what's eating at you niggas. I gotta know what's eating away at your souls so much. Because it starts not to make sense after a while. You niggas start to look pathetic. When you have to make posts like this, you start to look pathetic. But let's move on. We are only on about the third song of the album. We got more album to go. Janice, shut the fuck up. Obviously, like I said, all I can say about that. The chorus, the hooks. I mean, the chorus, the verses, um, the overall tone of the song. Him getting at Hove, him rebuttaling, not like us. Him constantly again putting his foot on niggas' necks. This is what we asked for from Drake. This is what his fans want. Okay? This is what his fans want. Then we got Ran to Atlanta again. Like I said initially, I felt this was one of the weaker songs out of the album, just because I didn't necessarily need a Drake and Future reunion. I could have done without it. I feel like Drake can make niggas starve a little bit longer. And I think it goes in certain places, but this is not necessarily the song that always goes for me. If I want to talk about songs that grow on me in like maybe a typical Drake fashion, this would be a prime example of one of those songs. I feel like before the beef, Drake would deliver a lot of songs like these. There would be like maybe 2 or 3 of songs like these on the album. Whereas he gave us one here and he locked the fuck back in. And he's talking his shit here. The beat switch, him taking center stage and not giving too much attention to Future or Miley Santana. I love all of that. So again, Ran to Atlanta, what it started off on one of the weaker sides for me, but it's grown on me. Shebang, again, another one of my favorite tracks in contention with Janice. Another one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's a bop that'll go anywhere, and it's one of those tracks where niggas is just gonna have to live with Drake talking that shit and a slew of bitches, a slew of niggas in the club, all in unison singing that shit behind them. It's a beautiful thing, and we're gonna see a lot of that. We're already seeing, like I said, we're already seeing some videos and things like that popping out. So yeah, I think that's gonna be dope. Then we got Make Them Pay again. I think we got to dive deeper into this one because this really talks about Drake wanting to leave the label like we anticipated for such a long time. And in here, he gets into more of that label focus. He's still talking his shit about niggas. And in the visuals, very dope. I got to do more research and exactly those visuals brought me back to my childhood, where visuals like that were very popular. My father personally would make, because my father was a dope artist, whereas I'm more gifted with words and things like that. His pen and his artistic side on that aspect was a little bit more gifted. He was more gifted that way. He can draw, I guess to say simply. So it brought me back because he would draw characters, and he a lot of his characters in his theoretic comic book that he would one day make and things like that. It brought me back to that. And so obviously that's already a touchy side for me, and it brings me back to an emotional side of my childhood, seeing the visuals. And that's why I said the visuals really complemented the album in a lot of different ways, just for me personally. So yeah, so that's one thing. He really zeroed in on the label, talking about the label. He talked about going to LA once again. LA love the sound. I could play a show for 1 million people. Don't be surprised you see the whole YM and CA just like the Village people. You know, bars like that that stood out from the track that a lot of people are really just blown away by. As I said, it feels like an album where no bars are wasted. Um, and he's just letting it loose. This is another one of those tracks, pause. This is another one of those tracks where it's a straight diary page. And if you are one of these people saying that Drake doesn't give that Mr. Morale esque song or vibe, but can still make it digestible. This is what Drake fans mean by that. This is what Drake fans mean when we say we can get into Drake talking about all of these things, being vulnerable, the things that hurt him, the things that he might talk about in a therapy session, the things that he might, open up to with his therapist or behind closed doors that he might not necessarily say to the world, but he's putting it on wax. But he's giving it to us in a digestible way. He's giving it to us in a song that's going to last. It's going to stand the test of time. So this is what we mean by Mr. Morale could never accomplish what Iceman is accomplishing right here. He just can't do it in the same way. That's the thing about music. It's not all about leaning into the lyrical side these days. If you look at an ability chart or a stat charts or like if you've ever played an RPG and you looking at the stats and you looking at the chart where I forgot that I don't know exactly the name of the chart, but it's almost like a web. And the more your stat is, or the higher your stat is, the more the web flows in that direction. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas know what I'm talking about. When it comes down to hip hop, being an all around artist, being able to check off most of that circle, to fit most of that circle, it benefits you more. It does. But yeah, but yeah, this is it's a great track, and it's showing Drake's pen game once again. Like I said, it's a timestamp esque track. He's getting into the overall theme of I just want to be free. Since 2009, as I climb the ladder, they envy me like Nevada, but it can never be but it can never be mattered. Well, but it never mattered. My niggas run a phone soon as you check into prison. Your niggas run and talk to Ho for a second opinion. Me, I stood 10 T's and accepted the mission. Cause I much rather death than submission. How can you press the ignition and then let some memories of the past affect your decision. I love you because the history, but if we being real, I could never forgive you. I could never forgive you. Did y'all hear that? Fuck me. I could never forgive you. Again. Checklist. Checklist. Tell how this nigga J. Cole was a bitch. J. Cole is a bitch for that. You a bitch. Like, I fuck with you too. That's exactly how niggas feel about J. Cole. He said it. He said it. This is exactly how niggas feel about this nigga. You run and talk to Hov for a second opinion. Me, I stood 10 T's and accepted the mission. Because I much rather death than submission. And see, this is why I fuck with Drake, because he's the type of nigga we think the same. You gotta kill me before I accept this type of shit. A nigga like J. Cole, he remind me of a nigga like my cousin. Okay? He not a kumbaya type nigga. You know what I'm saying? You could probably say the worst shit to this nigga. He probably wouldn't flinch. Chud the Builder can come call him a nigga and shit like that. He probably, oh, okay, yeah. Pray for the nigga or some shit like that. I got a cousin like that. I got a cousin like J. Fold. But, bro, what are you doing? It's just like, bro, what are you doing? I love you because the history, but if we being real, I could never forgive you. And you never call me back, but destiny's written. For real. We love you, J. Cole. We gonna always love J. Cole. Okay? We ain't out here saying we hate J. Cole. On some real shit. This nigga he's speaking for me, nigga. He damn near speaking for me. Let's just be honest. We don't hate J. Cole. We still love you, J. Cole. But we can never forgive you, bro. As a Al, as a Drake fan, and even some hip-hop fans. Some people forgave J. Cole. Some people, oh yeah, this is a good album. This is a good... Even though they're not talking about it anymore and shit like that. But we can't forgive you, J. Cole. We can't. And this is all I was saying. This is the shit that I was saying. We can't just sit here and ignore what you did and how you left niggas out to dry. Because this shit could have been way more legendary. This shit could have been way more impactful if both of you was talking your shit. If both of you was putting belt to ass. But you backed off and left your mans out to dry, man. Stuff like that we can't respect. We love you. But some things you just can't respect. Some things you can't respect. You just can't. It's just too pussy of a move. It's too pussy of a move. It's just like, why did you do that? You might as well just drop that one diss record, just not have said nothing else. That's it. Drop that one record, don't say shit else. Fuck it. You've getting some regrets and shit like that. I was fucking with it. What was it called? 7-minute drill? What was it called again? I was fucking with it. But I needed Drake to come in and say almost these exact words, and he said he said the perfect shit to this nigga. He said the perfect thing. He let the sentiment that I feel like a lot of us who are disappointed in J. Cole feel. He let the sentiment be known, and he said it perfectly. I love you because of the history, but if we being real, I can never forgive you. I can never forgive you, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay? Another classic song. Another classic, and not only I gotta say, with this album and why it hit so hard, it's because Drake is not just adding another classic album to his discography. He's adding several classic songs to his discography that can compete with some of his best songs in his discography. That's why this album is so special. That's why this album is so good. He's giving us several songs that can compete with his best work to date. A lot of these shits is hitting like that. A lot of these shits is on that tier of a God's plan. It's on that tier. Like I said, we got Shebang, we got Make Them Pay, then we got Burning Bridges. Like I said, that was another one of the ones that were on the weaker side for me. One of the two tracks that I said I could have done without, but again, it has been growing on me. This is the ASAP Rocky diss, of course, which, like I said, I don't got too much to say about this one. It did what it was supposed to do, if you ask me, and that's why it's growing on me, because it did what it's supposed to do. The visuals obviously were A1. And I'm speaking a lot about the visuals because I'm a visual person. I'm a cameraman. I'm a director. I love visuals. Okay, I love putting together visuals. So, but the reason why this track has grown on me so much is because I seen the mission. I realized the mission. I seen what it did, and it was a mission successful. So Burning Bridges gets a pass on my in my book. Then we get National Treasure. This was my most anticipated track from the album. Okay, this is another one of my favorites. I loved how Drake switched up the second half of this song, taking Pressa's verse out and instead changing the entire vibe of the song. He changed the entire vibe of the song, and he did his own thing with it. He did completely his own thing with it, and made it his own. Because if I'm not mistaken, this was this was a this was originally a Pressa track, but Pressa ended up giving it to Drake, and Drake made it his own. And of course, once again, the visuals that went along with it, they were just dope. I like the style of it. I like the lighting. It was just crazy. But this was one of my most anticipated tracks because I was like, okay, this is gonna be the track that Drake, because I wasn't expecting him to give us the whole straight Iceman straight through. But I was like, okay, this is gonna be the track where Drake is getting at niggas. I thought this was gonna be the make them remember. Okay? I thought this was gonna be that. Um it ended up not being that, but it ended up being its own bop and its own I don't know, like I said, it was still one of my most anticipated songs with the beat. alone. I was just sitting here listening to the beat, waiting for him to drop a new episode of Iceman. Just like, bro, please, like, just like niggas was scratching their neck. So I was just sitting there waiting. I was just sitting waiting for that one, and I think he delivered with it, and it's a bot for me. I I like the shit that he was talking. He got at more niggas in this. It's more foot to neck, more dissing, more disrespectful shit, and I just like Drake talking like this. I like Drake talking like this because he stood on business. He got in the paint, and he's allowed to talk like this. So when niggas talk like this all the way through, they come in fighting, they go out fighting. You allowed to talk like this, win, lose, draw. I don't give a fuck. You keeping that same energy, we fuck with it. But he's talking, he's talking greasy, straight off the rip. He said, "Out in the six, I'm a national treasure. The niggas that back me gonna back me forever." He's a national treasure. Like, come on, bro. Like, hold on, cause I feel like a lot of people hear that line and y'all don't understand. I don't think a lot of people understand what a national treasure is, okay? A national treasure is a person, place, artifact, or cultural work officially or popularly recognized as having a profound historical, cultural, or sentimental value to a nation. To a nation. Okay? So I need y'all here. We're gonna break this down for y'all. Okay? I need y'all to understand, like, when we're talking national treasures, okay, the Rosetta Stone is a national treasure, okay. The U.S. founding documents, i.e., the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, those are national treasures. All right, the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, national treasures. Are we understanding? Yellowstone National Park. Are we understanding? We getting it? Are we getting it? I'm trying to break down. I'm trying to break down for niggas. We're talking a national fucking treasure. We're not talking about just anything. We're talking about somebody being a national treasure. And he literally is. That's the thing. Drake is arguably the biggest thing to ever come out of Canada. The biggest guy, the biggest artist, the biggest everything. He is. It's like it's not even an exaggeration. I know this is just the first line of the song, but I need y'all to feel the gravity. We hear this is the Iceman album review. We here for a minute. So I need y'all to feel the gravity of what's being said here. Like what we talking about. So when man's talk about being a national treasure, he talking about being akin to something like the Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, the Statue of Liberty, the White House, the founding documents, Declaration of Independence. This is what we talking about. Okay? And again, no bars wasted. He said, out in the six, I'm a national treasure. The niggas that back me gonna back me forever. R.I.P. Kobe. But y'all niggas brokey. That's probably why y'all be shacking together. We already know these. Come on, man. Come on. Capo and Lita got habits together. Like couples vacations, they packing together. Like rushing to finish, they'll slap them together. The charges like COVID, they'll catch it together. They hate me so much it's a sickening thing. They must have heard wrong on the call. I sent them a sack because they wanted you shipped to the king. When you was a part of the team, we used to be planning our Mexico trips in the spring. We must have been dealing in spur of the moment. Cause why did we think you could get us a ring? Why is he talking like this? And it's a bop. This shit is jamming. The beat is hitting. The replay value is through the roof. Like, nah, we really listening to some fire. Like, I sent him a sack as I wanted you shipped to the king. When you was a part of the team, we used to be planning our Mexico trip in the spring. We must have been dealing in spur of the moment. Cause why did we think you could get us a ring? They bragging about how you went home, but fuck are they on? Cody, we threw him away. G-Pop sent us a real one from Dago. The next thing we knew, we was doing parades. Oh my God, this nigga even dissing the fucking basketball players. He even got bars with DeRozan, nigga. All you, yo, bro. He didn't spare nobody. This is why this album is a classic, bro. This is why this album is a classic. The real fans, real niggas who been in the field these last 2 years, in, day out, the exposés, the attempted rewriting of histories. We was there. We seen it all. We seen it all. We truly understand all of these bars. These bars is personal to us. They don't get it. This has to be a Drake's fan most. If you, I can't even just say a Drake fan. If you have been in the field, as I said, if you've been in the field with us, and when I say us, y'all already know all my people on X watching, all my people on X following, you fuck with your boy. Everybody who fuck with the content, everybody who support the, y'all already know. If you were one of the ones who's been fucking with us, riding with us for the past 2 years, you know that these bars are personal to us. You know that we taking these bars different. Different. These bars is just hitting a little bit different for us who've been in the field day in, day out. Day in, day out. A lot of these niggas is gonna say, oh, nah, these motherfuckers is just gonna like anything. They just gonna like everything. Nah, y'all don't get it. This shit is personal. This shit is personal. A lot of these bars, niggas feel like they was on a battlefield with this nigga. I'm not lying. There was a lot of days. There was a lot of days where this shit got exhausted. The onslaught, the lies, the rewriting of history, it got exhausting trying to keep up with it all, day in and day out. Standing 10 toes. Not letting people take hip hop and make it into what they feel like only hip hop should be. So again, to the Owls, OVO fam, my people who's connected, OVO sound. My people who's tapped in with the OVO sound, fam. These bars hit a little bit more personal, and y'all know this. Y'all know a lot of these bars hit a little bit personal and different for us. So no, it's not that we are just gonna like everything that Drake puts out, and I've obviously said some songs didn't instantly gravitate, to me, or I didn't instantly gravitate to, but these bars hit different for not just a fan, dare I even say a stan. They hit different for the niggas who are running the fan pages, who are running the community pages, and really standing on business day in and day out. This album was for us, so shout out to everybody who's been holding it down. Again, my mutuals, if you follow me, I already know you one of the realest ones. I already know you one of the biggest out here. If you follow me, I already know you one of the trillest. So we already know, you know what I'm saying? We already know what it is. And I follow just about everybody. I've conversed with just about everybody on the OVO fan page side of things. We know these bars are for us. They hit different for us. I know it. I know each and every last one of us have just been wanting Drake to come out and talk to you niggas exactly like this. The niggas urging him to get over it, the niggas urging him to move on, are the exact niggas who don't want to be made into the newest summer bop. We know that. But let's continue again. We got more album to go. He just finished. He just completely killed DeMar DeRozan with the nigga can't even rap back. What can he say? He said, "Fuck all that pussy, man. He said, fuck all you pussy, man. Who could relate? Might just go take me a walk by the sea. They diss on the boy till they blue in the face. I put I put all their faces that's blue in the safe. Really can't find me the words. You niggas is birds. I wish that they knew what to say. Move to your block. I don't see your face. First time you back since back in the day. First time lent since back in the day. We needed that chip since back in the day. Oh my God, he's just killing this nigga. Just endlessly killing this nigga back in the day. My mind on my money, I'm racking my brain, and none of you pussies is acting the same. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even mean to click on all of that. He's just talking his shit. He said, I would probably need a YouTube search. This when the beat switched up. He said, I would probably need a YouTube search just for me to do a laundry load. Alex Moss trying to bring me back 100 years from now. He got my body froze. All these niggas want a head tap. I did more damage off a body blow. I can hit you off an iPhone shit. Let me hit you off the lobby phone. Niggas gotta be around heads on a swivel cause we are not alone. Niggas gotta be around ice on the same shit like we monotone. Niggas gotta be around ice with the sticks like a hockey coach. Niggas better have a bag with a pipe like they came from a Scottish home. Yeah, this song is just a bop, man. This song is just a bop. Must we say any? Is there any more to say? He belt to ass. It's just belt to ass. Bees on the table. This is another one that I probably could have done without. I think this was actually one that has not yet grown on me yet, and this is my least favorite song on the album. Then we got What Did I Miss? Of course, that is what it is. this pretty much set the tone for Iceman. This set the tone for the Iceman episodes, and it was pretty monumental when we got this track. It was the only track, hip hop track, or the last hip hop track before Drake came back again and pretty much got hip hop out of the dark ages and put it back on the map. But what did I miss? It did what it did. It accomplished what it needed to accomplish. It did its job, and I think we are all a bit more grateful for it. Then we got another one in my contention for my favorite song on the album. We got Plot Twist. Okay, twisting the M and the O and the B, twisting the O and the C and the T and the O and the B and the E and the R and the G and the A and the N and the G. Twist. Oh my God, he did his thing. Yeah, there's nothing else to say about that. Come on, man. There's nothing else to say about that. A lot of people, I think this track was leaked too. A lot of people, especially my man K Mills, shout out K Mills, Shiesty Nurse, was definitely anticipating this track. He said he's not going to be listening to anything else except this track for the next 2 weeks. But I don't know, brother. This album got some bangers on it. I thought the same thing with National Treasure until I realized how much we got on this album and the caliber of album that we got. Yeah, it's pretty hard to just listen to one song. You got a lot of tunes stuck in your head. But Plot Twist did what it was supposed to do. It's a nice vibe. You can listen to it anywhere. It's gonna go anywhere. I mean, it's more of him talking his shit. What more can I say? Then you got Too Hard for the Radio. Obviously, jumping on that West Coast vibe, killing it, getting that Kendrick. And I mean, the visuals even paired with it, so good. It looked like he shot it all in the CN Tower, did his thing like that, and somehow made it a movie. You know what I'm saying? He made this entire visual project a nice cohesive body of art, and it did what it was supposed to do as well. I really liked him going at Kendrick and Mustard, and even with the beat, I believe somebody even explained it, but even with the beat, he's dissing. Even with the beats, okay. Then you got Make Them Remember, which we originally took as 1 a.m. in Albany, but he renamed that to Make Them Remember. Scathing, okay? This is where he really went in, okay? This is where Drake really left nothing on the table and really finished these niggas. We got to get into a little bit of this one because I think he fired the clip. It's like I told my boy Rap Rhetoric, shout out Rap Rhetoric, but on this one, he emptied the clip. He saw a bunch of bodies on the floor. He saw he had one more clip left, and he said, fuck it, about to empty another one. And that's exactly what he ended up doing. So, yeah, he did his thing with that one. I'm sorry. He did his thing with that one. He said, look up. Turbulent flights dodging cumulus clouds. Squares drawn on the line, but we're at the root of it now. The algebra bars, the calculus bars and shit. Like, come on. Like, he said, it feels like I got a lot of even tie, so I don't even know if these are wins. If these wins are not based on what's suitable now. You don't even hear me though. Just and he's just really just breaking down. I love how he's getting into, nigga, any awards, any win that y'all niggas is giving Kendrick, this shit is artificial. Niggas have to lie to win. Niggas have to buy pay for bots to win, pay for Grammys to win, be given the Super Bowl. I mean, now some might call me a hater. Some might just say, "Oh, well, the song was that good. He put out good music, and then he was rewarded for it." And to that, I mean, I just got to say, if we're rewarding good music and we're rewarding who won a rap battle, we should be judging it off bars. And what happened 2 years ago was a lot of niggas lying to themselves. A lot of niggas lied to themselves because Kendrick was their favorite artist. And they always were going to say that Kendrick won any battle. They were always going to say that Kendrick, you know, is the better rapper. So Drake has no business even stepping to a person of his caliber. That's what Kendrick fans would tell you. A hater is only here because niggas is tired of seeing Drake win. A lot of niggas was just waiting to see somebody else give this man the L. Somebody else take the reins. And then you got people like Rick Ross who are just waiting on their opportunity where they see, well, it's finally time. The opportunity has came. It's presented itself. It's time for me to take it. And they took it. It's a lot of different people that were behind this. But there was a large majority of those people who were simply just lying to themselves and just wanted to see Drake take a L. They felt like, nah, it was finally time. No way we gonna let him beat Meek Mill and then come back around. Beat Kendrick Lamar. I mean, let's be honest. If they let Drake win a battle against Kendrick Lamar, they would have to admit that he's the greatest of all time. What a lot of us already know. And many of them don't want to admit. But once you look back and you say, damn, he beat Meek Mill. He beat this one. He beat that one. Common. Joe Budden. He beat everybody you put in front of him. Outside of Pusha T. If you want to say he didn't even beat Pusha T, but even there, he outbarred Pusha T. He outbarred Pusha T. After a while, you just have to admit that the man's the greatest. It's almost as if you let LeBron get 6 or 7 rings. After a while, the Jordan fans have nothing else that they can say. You know, I think Jordan's the better player, don't get me wrong. But it makes it real fucking hard to argue who's the greatest of all time when the other guy has 7 rings. That's all I'm saying. A lot of the people don't want to come to that realization. A lot of people don't want to admit that fact because that's the only thing you can walk out believing at the end of such a battle. That's the only thing that you can, that could be the only conclusion if we all, in a general consensus, can agree that Drake defeated Kendrick. But it has to be an argument. They had to make it a contention or a question mark or just completely say, oh, yeah, no, Kendrick won. Oh, he won, yeah. He finished Drake. Even though he didn't outbar Drake, all of a sudden, the rules to a rap battle change. Even though Drake provided the bop and the bars, there was just a sect of the internet that was never going to let Drake get his sixth ring, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? They were never going to let him get that. Because if LeBron gets 6 rings, 7 rings, it's going to be hard for you to argue that Jordan's the greatest of all time. He said, they say conclusions were drawn, but I'm in super denial. What is a loss? I'll be damned if I'm losing it now. I'm the golden goose shaking up things in Lucian's house. I'm in the battlefield really putting boots to the ground. A booster seat for yourselves and the lies that you tell. Again, just playing off that double entendre. Really a triple. A booster seat for your sales. Talking about giving his shits a boost. The radio, the labels, the paid off media personalities. Then talking about the booster seat bars that he was including in his rhymes. Then saying a booster seat because the nigga Kendrick is only 5 foot. I mean, triple entendre. He's light. And we have this entire body of work has multiple double, triple, quadruple entendres. Like, what are we even what are we even arguing about? What are we going back and forth with these people about? It's nonsense. He said if Drake took out the AK, maybe he'd be in jail, just based off the name that it spells. What they say, they just smelled. I heard they got the special place in hell for niggas joking about evil when they did it themselves. Damn. Which I thought I was done. Y'all forgot what I done? Y'all forgot about Drake? Y'all forgot where I'm from? Y'all forgot if I gave you a hand, you under the thumb? He's talking his shit. Convenient amnesia from all you ballerinas. It doesn't alter what you said or how you made us see you. It shouldn't even be. I shouldn't even be shocked to see you in that arena because you always made your career of switching teams up. I mean, this song has been picked apart by all the hip hop historians everywhere. Y'all get it, but Drake is just really letting niggas have it, bro. He really let niggas have it and make him remember. He gave some good flows on Little Birdie. I like the little switch up, the little Kodak flow. I could do a little Kodak bop to that one. I was really feeling that. Like I said, giving us some new sounds, playing with some different things. Still talking his shit. Still keeping his foot on niggas' necks. And clowning these niggas in every single track. This track included. Then we got Firm Friends in Make 'Em Know, which all 3 tracks, well, Don't Worry too, all 3 tracks I feel like were just stacked to be a perfect outro. A perfect outro, which the last 3, again, they just read like a closing diary. Closing that diary, reading those last few pages, coming through this therapy session, talking these things out, wearing your heart on the sleeves, being like, damn, can't believe all of these niggas been moving like this. I can't believe this, that, the third. I feel like this is just Drake had to get it out of his system. And this is how he got it out of his system. And this was the perfect way. He did it masterfully. He did it masterfully. Okay? So, where what do I give Iceman? What do I give Iceman? I gotta say it's a solid 9.5. A solid 9.5. As I said, there were just for the simple fact that a couple of tracks had to grow on me, and Bees on the Table never really did. But I get it. I get it. And he's talking that shit. And again, it is another track that it accomplishes the job. It does what what needs to be done. It does what it set out to do. But I got to give Iceman a solid. I got to give it a solid 9.5. So, with that being said, I went ahead, right, and we jumped into the tier list. We got to re-rank these albums. Yes, sirree. Now, I have personally not ranked my Drake albums with you guys. We haven't done that yet. But I figured this is the perfect time for us to go through and re-rank these albums. It's just time. It's that time. So y'all can give some opinions, of course. You can get into the chat. Hold on 1 second. Make sure we ain't missing any. But yeah. I figured this is the perfect time to go ahead and rank some of these bad boys. Okay, I went and took the liberty of getting the mixtapes and some of the old classics out of the way. Okay, just because I don't want to focus too much on those, and a lot of those tracks. Well, a lot of these projects weren't what locked me into Drake. Pause. But that's not what it really, you know what I'm saying? That's not really what where I was like, oh, okay, this nigga's cold. Like, oh, like, oh shit, okay, this nigga's different. All right. So, obviously, Take Care has to go in S tier for me. Okay. It ain't in super S tier. It ain't in God tier. I'm just call it that, God tier. Take Care for me is always S tier. A lot of people say this is Drake's best work. Obviously, a lot of people feel like that. For them, that's their best work. But this is not necessarily my favorite album from Drake, and I'll go as far to say even some of his more recent albums I've liked more than Take Care. This is just speaking facts. Just speaking facts. Okay, so Take Care is going in S tier. Okay? Views. I'm gonna put Views in A tier. Okay, I'm gonna put Views in A tier. Highly anticipated for me. I know some people are gonna probably be like, okay, you kind of pushing it, nigga. But I Views is it's pretty good for me. The time of my life when Views came out, I wanted more of the Drake that we got here in Iceman. Okay? The things that I was doing around this time, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? We were still hitting licks around Views time, okay? we were still hitting licks around views time, so I needed something a little harder than I needed something a little bit more aggressive. Pause. But you know what I'm saying? If y'all get me, you get me. But we was in them streets around views time, so we wasn't as on views mentally as we should have been. Okay, but um, I think that it is one of my favorite albums from Drake. Um, he gave us a lot of bops with that one. Hold on, real quick. Let me just make sure I get. Okay. Yep, it is all here. All the albums are here. I'm just reading some of these comments. Yeah, this is the full. This is everything. This is everything. Okay. Um, Dark Lane demo tapes. I'm gonna put that in B tier. I'm gonna put that in B tier. Um, I liked a couple of songs from this one. It was a lot of singing going on, and I'm not always in the mood for all the singing all the time. As you can see, I'm locked in, super heavy locked in. I haven't even really listened to Maid of Honor and Habibti as much as Iceman, just because I've been fully locked in on that, and I really wanted to just give that full attention and review to Iceman for the time being, and getting these numbers up, of course, and then obviously we can uh, we can direct some attention onto the other projects and bodies of work. But I, Iceman is such an album for me, the fan that I am, that it's hard to get to anything else right now. Even Giveon dropped some shit. I'm a big Giveon fan. Giveon dropped Beloved Act Two, and I almost want to fight this nigga for it because I'm not listening to anything else right now. Okay, if you're reading this, it's too late. This has to go in Super S tier. I'm sorry, it has to go in Super S tier. Classic, classic. Super classic. Um, I really love the historic value of this. He went at some niggas' heads. Some historic bops are on this. It's if you reading this, it's too late. Come on. More Life. I'm putting that in S tier. For me, More Life is one of my favorite Drake albums just because it has so many bops on there. This is what Drake originally positioned as a playlist, but I was like, well, shit. If this type of albums he gonna be putting out, I'm all here for this. Um, and around this time, I was outside. I was still outside around More Life. I was outside heavy. I was dipping and dodging in them streets. We was in the city a lot. So More Life really slapped on a different level. Again, I liked the direction that he went with it, the features. Wrote this shit January 21. Baby girl, I had to run. Like, come on, that's my favorite song off the track. That was just it was just yeah, it was crazy. Thank Me Later. That has to also go in the Super S tier. Let's go in the Super S tier. Drake don't got no F albums. I'm sorry, we ain't putting nothing there. We don't got nothing to put there. But yeah, I mean, you Thank Me Later was when I started getting locked on to Drake. Thank Me Later is when I was like, okay, hold up. This nigga got start to finish bops. He talking to the ladies. I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? He got nigga in his feelings. I'm over here out here trying to get the shorties just like he out here trying to get the show. I'm like, oh, we here. We here. We the same nigga. So, you know, he had the quotables. You can go up, say to the girls, get them blushing, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? This is when I really started getting locked in to Drake. Okay? This is when it was like, okay, yeah, this nigga's moving different. Um, around this time, I believe I had a lot of Drake's songs. I had this entire album on. I had Thank Me Later on my iPod. I believe I had it on my iPod, cracked, of course, with all my free songs and things like that. Just downloaded on there already for me. So I'm sorry, Drake, we didn't pay for that one, but yeah, that is definitely S tier. Brought me through some days. Um, I would say, oof, damn, I want to say C, but I'm gonna give it B because, mm, What a Time to Be Alive was, it was a classic because it was a Drake and Future album, full album. Um, I'm giving it a B because even though at the time I wasn't the biggest Future, as big as a Future fan as I am now, that's for one. And a lot of the songs on the album felt like they were Future songs with Drake features. I remember that being one of my biggest critiques about this project. And I wanted them to jump into Drake's bag and Drake's world a little bit more. So I always appreciate that when I hear it. Um, but with that being said, there were a lot of iconic songs. It was still in rotation throughout that whole summer. I remember there was a lot of bops. I think I was just getting back home to New York around this time. If I'm not mistaken, I was just getting back home to New York. This is like 2015. So I was just getting back in them streets, leaving the streets of Charleston, South Carolina, to go back to New York, and this was the album for that time. So it was a lot of time spent outside. So like I said, even though on a like music critic level, it didn't hit as far as the bars and the this and the getting to the but we was outside with this one for sure, for sure. I can even probably even bump that up to A tier, but I ain't gonna go that far with it. Um, then we got Scorpion. Scorpion, whew, sheesh. Yeah, Scorpion has to go S tier. I think Scorpion definitely has to go S tier. I think I gotta put Scorpion S tier. No, oh man, I really like Scorpion. Scorpion was hitting. We was out. I'm gonna have to put Scorpion on Super S tier. Scorpion was hitting different. Scorpion was hitting super different. It was hitting super different. We was outside. We had the Kiki. Do you love me? Are you right? Like, come on, that was right after the beat. Yeah, like yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Scorpion was hitting different. Scorpion was indeed hitting different. We got to give that Super S tier. Okay, that's God tier. Okay, Scorpion was definitely God tier. Then a easy God tier pick. Nothing Was the Same. My favorite Drake album of all time. Easy God tier. Easy God tier. Okay, I fucks with that one super heavy. I remember I this dropped when I was just moving to Charleston, South Carolina, and I was just meeting all my friends out there, and I was getting into the streets, I was getting into the life, the girls, the love, the heartache, the fuck ups, the living wild. I had an amazing time when this album came out, so it just has to be God tier, just for nostalgia purposes alone. But not only that, it was arguably Drake's best album. Even he says it. So yeah, nothing was the same. Did what it was supposed to do, y'all. That was a God tier album for me. CLB, excuse me, CLB. I think that for me, easy S tier, easy S tier for me. The intro for CLB, what was it? Champagne Poetry, classic intro. And CLB, I'm putting in S tier just because there are a lot of hidden gems in CLB, a lot of tracks that to this day go overlooked, that are a great display of Drake's lyrical ability. It's a great display of his range, and I don't know. It showed that yeah, maybe he was getting out of things, running out of things to talk about a little bit, but it's all good. It was pretty good. Then we got Honestly Never Mind, and I'm sorry, this is another one that I'm putting in S tier. I'm putting Honestly Never Mind. Okay, I'll put it in A tier. I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna say it's better than Fuse. I'm not gonna say Honestly Never. But for me, I don't know, bro. I gotta put. I don't know. I might have to put Honestly Never Mind in S tier. For me. I'm sorry. I just I got to. I have to. For me, I can listen to Honestly Never Mind. There are days that Honestly Never Mind got me through shifts at work. The worst shifts, the worst days. Again, it's what the music did for me, why I'm judging it this way. This might not be your ranking. It's probably definitely how most of you probably don't rank the shit this way. But for me, Honestly Never Mind is an album that grew on me in the best way. Because it was something I didn't expect at first. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell is this nigga doing? But being in the proper settings, and not to say that you have to be in the proper settings for it to work, but being in the proper settings with this one, being able to bop, you working, the vibes is hitting, it's a nice morning, you trying to get your task done, you just vibing, the beats is hitting, you don't got to worry about too much cursing and worrying. Look, it just works. It just works, and it works for a lot of different people other than just the culture or black people. It works outside of the culture, and that's why I really like this album too. I'm a music fan, um, probably second. I'm a hip hop fan first, but I'm a music fan second, and I just like how this album can function in society. Okay, then we got Her Loss. For me, I'm gonna put that at A tier. Um, just because I've never been that big of a fan of 21. Um, the only time you will catch me listening to 21 Savage is if he's on a song with Drake. I've never been a big 21 fan. So Drake doing an entire album with 21, um, it wasn't like it was a Christmas gift wrapped with my name on it, but why would I turn down a Drake album? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. It's like why would I turn down free Drake music? It's like I might as well. So that's why I'm putting Her Loss in A tier. A lot of great bops in it though. A lot of great bops, a lot of great songs. It's not like it's anything that I wouldn't listen to, besides maybe one or two tracks, but a lot of replay value per usual. A lot of great songs on there. Then we get to For All the Dogs. For All the Dogs, I really like For All the Dogs. I liked where he was going with this. Um, he did his thing. Um, we got some good tracks out of it. I got one of my favorite Drake tracks out of it, which is Away From Home. I love All the Parties too. That's one of my favorite tracks out of it, which is like a sleeper, the Chief Keef joint, or What Would Pluto Do, which I feel like is another track that isn't talked. For All the Dogs has a lot of tracks that I feel like aren't talked about enough. However, while it's working its way into that S tier for me, it's because For All the Dogs for me is still in rotation. It is very much still in rotation. Um, well, a lot of these shit, a lot of I can't say all of these albums are still in rotation, really. But as far as how high up in that priority level, For All the Dogs is working its way up to that S tier. But for now, I gotta say it's probably still in A tier. It hurts me to put it there, but I feel like I gotta balance this out. I feel like I gotta balance the things out a little bit. Okay. Um, but yeah, For All the Dogs is definitely there for me. Some sexy songs for you. God tier. God tier. Okay. Hold on. Let me just reorganize this. Let me just reorganize that a little bit. We gotta reorganize this just a tad, a little bit. You gotta put Scorpion. We need Nothing Was the Same. We need some sexy songs. You got Scorpion. If you're reading this too late, and then thank me later. That has to be the order. That has to be the order. S tier, that order is fine right there. A tier, I would probably say For All the Dogs would be first on A tier. Then I gotta do Views. I think everything else looks good. B tier, Dark Knight Imitators can go first on B tier. Everything looks good though, so we pretty much sorted out. We're sorted out here. Okay, we're sorted out. We got Comeback Season there. It's not too far behind. Room for Improvement is also not too far behind. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, we're looking good. Um, but I have to put some sexy songs in God tier just because it came, it saw, it did what it was supposed to do, and it's very much still in rotation heavily, heavily. I think I just listened to the entire album just the other day, maybe like twice. So that's one of those tracks that are heavily still in rotation. Okay, I fuck with some sexy songs, super duper heavy, and that's one of Drake's best albums. If you ask me, it's just high up there. It's way up there for me. So yeah, I'm sorry. Um, and it's right behind Nothing Was the Same. So now we get to Iceman season. Okay, now we're getting to Iceman season, and I can properly rank Iceman. Now I'm gonna say beforehand, as I've already mentioned in the stream, but I probably could use a little bit more time grading Habibti and Maid of Honor, just because I need a little bit more time to sit and listen with these tracks. But sitting with Iceman for almost a week and listening to these tracks over and over, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what I think. At this point, it ain't changing. It's not improving. It's not going to lessen. it ain't going nowhere. Well, it could improve, but even still, I don't see how it can improve anymore. I guess I might as well just get to it. Iceman is going in God tier, and is going in front of some sexy songs. Okay, I want to say it is almost my favorite Drake. As you can see, it's right there at second. Okay, it's right there at second. What's beating it is the nostalgia and that time that I had in my life when Nothing Was the Same dropped. It was a magical time. It was a time that I'm always gonna look back. I'm always gonna look at back at that time with rose-colored glasses. I'm always gonna look back at how free I was in those times. How much of a free spirit I was. How much I don't know. I just went around doing whatever the fuck I wanted to do. Not gonna lie. There wasn't much holding me back from doing the things that I wanted to do. The friends that I made were a lot of lifetime friends. The things that we did, the memories that we made, it can't be replaced. So, with that being said, Iceman is going in God tier. It is. But will it take the spot for my number one favorite Drake album of all time? Not just yet. Not just yet. It is instantly taking the second spot for my second favorite Drake album of all time. It is instantly there, guys. I gotta say it. I gotta say it. Drake Iceman, and I'm saying it officially just to put it out there. Drake Iceman is officially my second favorite Drake album of all time. He did it. He did it. He topped so many great albums. So many amazing bodies of work yet again to deliver for me, hand wrapped, hand gifted, my second most favorite album by him of all time. Possibly, possibly a first. Possibly a first. Okay, we just need a little bit more time for that number one spot, but I can definitely see it getting there. I can definitely see it getting there. I probably got to give it a year to say if it's my favorite Drake album because I don't know. Like I said, a lot of the things that's keeping Nothing Was the Same right there for me is the fact that it came at a time of my life that is filled with so much nostalgia and memories. And it was just the soundtrack for that time of my life. Unlike any other Drake album has ever been able to really achieve. Like I can go through track by track and remember the girl, the situation, the lick, the friend, the any you know what I'm saying? It just it has that. Um, Unlike any other Drake album ever before that he's put out. So yeah, Iceman, it is a close second. Okay, it is a close second. But for now, I have to say that it hasn't yet taken the top spot. Not just yet. Not just yet. Okay. Just for the fuck of it, though, we're gonna go ahead and throw Habibti in there. I think Habibti has a lot of vibes just from a couple of listens that I did give it. It has a lot of vibes for some sexy songs. It has a lot of vibes like that, and I think it was gonna grow on me the same way. I believe Habibti has the potential to be also in God tier, but for now, we're gonna put it in S tier. Okay, a lot of bops, a lot of R&B tracks that Drake is approaching differently. Okay, shit like classic. I love. All right, I love the new approach or the classic approach to the R&B tracks, keeping things fresh, showing off his ability. So that's why I'm going to put that in S tier. Just from the few less listens that I did give it, I just feel like it'll be another one of my favorite Drake albums. I just haven't given it that much time yet, or it could go down. It could drop down to A tier. But for now, I'm going to put that in S tier. Maid of Honor, I'm going to go ahead and put in A tier, just because I feel like out of all three albums, it was the album made least for me. But as you can see, honestly, Nevermind is an S tier for me. And if I get that time, as I said, these last two projects I listened to the least. So giving it the proper time to listen to the album a little bit more, start to finish, with a clean ear, because I'm sorry, it's just too hard for me to listen to these tracks and not think about Iceman. It's too hard for me to listen to these tracks and not think about how he's getting at these niggas a tier higher, a level higher in Iceman. So, and I feel like Iceman was hand wrapped in a bow for me, for the fan that I am, for the stan that I am, or if you even want to say that. It was hand wrapped and gifted to me from Drake. Okay, nobody can tell me different. So it hits a little different when it's that. But as far as the other albums go, Maid of Honor, we're going to go ahead and I think we're chilling in A tier. I think we're chilling in A tier with that. So this is my ranking, my new ranking with Iceman, Maid of Honor, and Habibti added. This is my new Drake album ranking, okay? So you guys are more than welcome to go ahead and get into the comments. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion, and maybe you guys have an opinion on my list. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me if you think I'm bugging. Maybe you guys want to rearrange this list, or you guys have a completely different ranking altogether. But as far as I go, this is what hits for me. And going in left to right order, you can see what's my favorite album all the way down to my least favorite album. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys are fucking with this. This is a little something I wanted to do on the stream and do together with our viewers. So yeah, this is our new Drake ranking. I'll be looking out to see everybody else's. I know I'm gonna be hitting the timeline, seeing a lot of people re-ranking those albums and giving their opinion on on where things stand. Next, um, I feel like we're only just hitting damn near the halfway mark, but it's a whole lot to talk about. It's Drake Day. It's Iceman album review day. So, and we're back here in the Doja room. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here, and we're gonna get into some of these other album reviews. These other sentiments on the album. We'll start with that, okay? But real quick, I thought this looks pretty funny. Drake versus Rick Ross head-to-head streaming stats. Said 300 130 a billion versus 7 billion. 130 billion streams on Spotify versus 7 billion. 22.5 billion on YouTube versus 3 billion. If somebody just wanted to shit on Ross today, he was talking that shit. They are talking that. Ross was talking that shit today. He is. let's get into what Ross was saying. I think he's talking a little spicy earlier from what I seen. Yeah, let's get into this. Um, Ross went on PBD podcast apparently to talk shit about Drake. Let's get into it.
You're not putting Drake at your level.
No, see, you might be, I could see it in your eyes, you might be confused with the numbers and all of the fake numbers flood the marketplace 50 something. That shit ain't nothing. Remember what I told you, the streets are the streets. If Drake was what he thought, you what you think he was or what he thought he was, he would have been able to clear all this shit up, address it, and been moved on. He's still suing the label. That's like him. He might sue you for speaking of him on this situation.
Did you listen to ICEMAN, the new?
I listened to some of it. My engineer it was horrendous. My homies actually sat there and they lost an hour of their life for this shit.
Listen to it.
What are we talking about?
Are they recovering?
What are we talking about? What are we talking about, man? This is the average Kendrick fan. Okay? This is the average Kendrick fan that you see online yapping it up every day. Did Drake even say anything to this nigga? Why is he going on a Drake hate press run? Like, what are you doing, nigga? Like, what are you here for? Every clip that we've seen of Ross lately is him talking about Drake. We're not even talking about this bitch ass album that you about to drop. Let's just keep it a buck. We're not talking about this album. And I fuck with Ross, but nah, we're not talking about this album. I can't fuck with you during Iceman season. Well, I haven't fucked with you in these last 2 years, but it's just, I'm sorry, nigga. I'm sorry, nigga. We gotta close ranks. It's just, you have to have, at some point, you have to have some type of dignity for yourself, right? Because as an artist, after a while, when do you say, look, I'm here to promote my album. I'm not here to talk about Drake and his album and what he has going on. All we're doing right now is promoting Drake's album. I'm not here to talk about Drake. I'm not here to do that. I've done that in the last 3 interviews I was on. I'm not here to talk about Drake. I'm here to talk about Rick Ross. I'm here to talk about MMG, Meek Mill, Wale, whatever. Why is it that you're here still talking about Drake and how trash his album is? It's disingenuous. I want the people who are coming out and trashing this album to realize it's doing nothing for your credibility. It's doing nothing for your credibility. It's not. Because we have a objectively great album, great hip hop album, undeniable. Drake's best rapping album yet, most lyrical rap album yet. It is. He gave you his most lyrical rap album yet, and niggas will still find a problem. Niggas will still say it's trash. What more can he give us?
Yeah, trauma.
It's tough.
It is.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Now, by the way,
when you've been waiting after you seen people put ice blocks in the middle of places and promoted and marketed, and the world knew what day it was coming out, and the shit came out and really, folded.
But have you personally listened to every single one of the tracks in the new album?
No, I couldn't do it. I mean, Pitchfork gave it, I said it was mid. Mid meant 5. Pitchfork gave it a 4 point something. No, but it was like, no one's my friend. You left me alone. Oh my, it's that type of shit.
Which one of you niggas told Ross he was funny, bro? Which one of you niggas told Ross he was a comedian? You see how nigga didn't even crack a smile? Like, that shit wasn't funny? You see how nigga ain't laugh one time? Like, am I the only one who sees this shit? You see how nobody's laughing, bro?
You got to be a boss out here, man.
So nothing that would be in your new playlist that you were showing.
Was it anything in my recent playlist?
And hear all of them. I don't know if you got to,
I mean,
by which one did you stop? 5?
I'm not
did
sure.
you make it to 5 or 6?
I'm not sure. You got to realize when it was going, it's music people that's on my team I allow them to be you could be a Drake fan if you like his music. I'm not going to tell you, no, don't put, we not on that type of shit. Listen to it if you want to listen to it. And I had people that listened to it. By the 5th song they came out, they was like, damn, this shit whack. And they went back in, listened to it. I'm like, it's not nothing that's dope. You don't hear nothing like Jay-Z and Alicia Keys from New York. I say you don't hear none of that.
What the fuck is Ross talking about, bro? This nigga sounds like a clown. Do I even have to rebuttal this? Is there even anything to add to that? Like, what is... Ross been looking like a clown for the past couple weeks. He been looking like a clown for the past couple weeks. I don't know exactly what we say to that. Like, nigga, you're trolling. Like, you're not even taking your interview seriously. You should just talk about your album. You should just stick to talking about your album. Stop talking about Drake. Nigga, you sound like a clown. Okay? You sound like a pyramid clown. Like, it's like, what did you get up there to talk about Drake just to say absolutely nothing? Like, literally. You got up there to say absolutely nothing. It seems Joe Budden. So Joe Budden had some. If you guys haven't, I think most people have seen Joe Budden's review of the album so far, but apparently, some people aren't really feeling Joe's review. Now, of course, a lot of the K-Thots most likely thought that Joe was going to come and trash the album also and be disingenuous and come off as if the album was quote-unquote trash. But Joe actually gave the album a pretty fair review and seemed to enjoy ICEMAN, which threw a lot of people off, academics included, who mentioned that Joe got to be making a business move by not giving Drake a bad review. But I really, even with this, like, I really feel like this is one of those undeniable tracks. And I feel like when it comes down to the Joe Budden podcast, Joe can be one of those ones. Y'all don't ever see me really go in on Joe, because even if Joe is talking some bullshit, there's usually somebody in the midst who's a little bit more level-headed who can give that perspective and, kind of speak on things. But other than that, I don't really watch the Joe Budden podcast. I'm not paying to watch nobody speak. But hopefully one day y'all fuck with me like that. I'm not, I won't say that. I'm not that big of a Joe Budden fan to want to pay to listen to him speak. So, But he has some good clips that come out every now and then. And I think people are just surprised that he didn't instantly go to trashing the album. So let's get into a little bit of his rebuttal on why people are surprised that he didn't trash the album like they expected him to. Yeah, so looks like Joe actually likes the album, which, like I said, when you are being honest, you can't say that there aren't any songs on here that you fuck with. You can't sit here and say that this album is complete trash. You just can't. It's impossible. It's damn near impossible, bro. We got to keep it a buck. It's impossible for you to sit here and act like there is absolutely no bright parts to this release. I just refuse to let people sit here and tell me that that's how it is. I just don't believe that. Let me make sure. Make sure make sure the clip was even playing. Damn. Okay, I didn't even play the clip for y'all. Okay.
For the
Let's get into what the Joe Budden podcast had to say about people not liking their review. I'll get into a little bit of it over here. So yeah, Joe likes the album. He resents anybody saying that he is liking the album for a business move, i.e., act. And I believe we actually have act responding to that. Yes.
Where is it at? It said 5 hours ago. They bought the Patreon and he ain't hating. They saying everything, but no, you didn't say what we wanted you to say. They wanted hate. So look. What the heck?
Running back real quick.
Okay, we're almost there. It's like a barb.
Yeah, that's why I skipped it.
Wait, hold on. What's this? Look,
Act don't be having.
I told y'all, man. Yo, Joe's fans are mad that they bought the Patreon and he ain't hating. They saying everything, but no, you didn't say what we wanted you to say. They wanted hate. So look, I bought the ICEMAN review on Patreon. The nigga even, stupid ass nigga even put the fucking receipt. I was disappointed about the review because it felt rushed. Bro, you bought a fucking podcast to hear a review the day after it dropped for some in-depth thing? This guy must be a fucking idiot. Dude,
the Kendrick fans we're talking about.
If you bought that podcast...
But this is the Kendrick fans that we're talking about. These are the Kendrick... these are the type of people that I'm talking about are trying to come out and tell you day in and day out that this album is ass. They're getting mad at the people who would usually blindly say, "Oh yeah, this is some trash. Oh, Drake needs to grow up. Oh yeah, this is some degenerate bars." They're mad that these niggas are not. They can't say that. They mad that these niggas are not just blindly trashing the album. So they're getting out. They say, "Fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. We'll talk about Iceman every fucking day. We'll compare it to Not Like Us every other day, even though the song already beat it." Even though the song's already outstreamed. Like, come on. What are we talking about?
I think he drops the pod a day after music came out. Dude, you bought it for first impressions, you fucking moron. I'm pretty sure maybe as time goes by, his and their opinion will change or it might evolve. But this nigga says it felt rushed. Yeah, dummy. You bought the episode right after how could you not rush it? Right? Here we go. I could explain everything. And I'll even explain that. I'll tell you why. It's a bad place for you to position yourself. Yeah, you're right. Listen, we're both in media. If we have an opinion, money will be made. It's a bad it's a bad business move to be the guy who, this is the only consequential album this year that's guaranteed. That, you know, there's some little rumors about whatever, but this is the only album, right? Keep in mind, and this is where I'm going to get to with the second part of what, you know, in addressing what he's saying or has said. This is why I felt it was non-genuine. There isn't much places to go once you do the I shitted on it album. There is nothing else coming. So again, you just shitting on it and then still trying to feed off the fat, because what I'm saying is this album is going to feed media. It's going to feed fans for the rest of the year. This is the only pig that got slaughtered. This is the only cow that got slaughtered. You better go get your porterhouse cut. You better go get your fucking ribeye. You better go get all the cuts you want to get. And we're gonna feed off of this for the whole year. Shitting on it and just kind of like disregarding it, even though it might get you a bigger moment. We're gonna be talking about this. Everybody knows we're gonna be talking about this album 3 to 4 months later. Everybody. This is not.
And this is what Kendrick fans fail to realize. This is what the guys who are posting about Iceman day in and day out don't realize. Because in a month from now, what are you still going to be talking about? In 2 months from now, in December, you look crazy continuing to you niggas already look crazy. Let's just get that straight. You niggas already look crazy. You already look crazy talking about an album you planned on not liking. You planned to not like this shit. You already made up in your head when the Iceman episodes were dropping that you niggas wasn't gonna like it. You knew this. Why are we acting surprised? So it starts to become old. This is why it's already old to me. But I don't understand how other people who follow you niggas, unless they're just people who think like you niggas. But I don't understand how people who follow you niggas continue to take you seriously after a while, because you just become Drake fan pages. Niggas like Bugsby, you're a Drake fan page. When you post day in and day out about a nigga you hate, yeah, the album is out right now. Cool. But how do you stay interesting? How do you keep the engagement up? Let's do a challenge. Let's see you niggas' numbers when you talk about Drake versus you not talking about Drake. Let's just see it. I would love for us to all come together in the spaces. Let's just come together in one space. I would love for you niggas to prove that you don't make more money talking about Drake. Because what's the reason for it at this point? At this point in the game, if you already didn't like the Iceman episodes, what are you even here for? What are we talking about? What are you talking about? We have to, that's what I'm saying. We have to start to look at you niggas sideways. We have to start to look at you in a particular way. Because it's obvious that you're not talking from a place of I love hip hop. You're talking of a place of I need to be relevant. I want to have what these two niggas have. And I'm going to say whatever I need to say to get there. Which is understandable. But just say that. Just say it.
Take whole shit. So it's in a business move. If you're trying to appear sincere, you're going to have a much nuanced look to this album that you could continue to feed off. That's just kind of how it goes. Now, let me let him finish it now, though. Partially right here, Ice. You kind of couldn't not win. And to address Joe, I'll tell you why you guys couldn't win. Because the criticisms that you guys laid about Drake before, you guys lied to each other acting like that changed. Y'all criticized Drake for making music for young adults. He still made music for young adults. Whatever y'all, I listened to what y'all said. Y'all were just making shit up. He didn't, I mean, I even talked to, he didn't be like, oh, I'm making a grown-up album. No, he didn't. He made the same fucking thing. Obviously, a little bit better bars, this, whatever.
More bars, more potent, more, you know what I'm saying, with the visuals and shit like that. But he just turned up the heat. Ack is exactly right. All he did was turn up the heat. All he did was double down.
You know, song structure a little bit. Like, he definitely put, you could tell, like, he really tweaked it a lot. But the main things that y'all used to shit on him for, yes, Sexy Red was on the joint. Yes, he was making, like, did you listen to Maid of Honor? He got all the little ice, the little Shandy girl, the son of Sand. He got all the things for the people y'all claim y'all were off his music for. He didn't change up for y'all. Y'all are now changing because the product seems different, the rollout is different, and the timing is different. He did not switch that much. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man. It's a lot of switching up going on, and I'm glad everybody's feet is getting held to the fire, no matter how minuscule. Y'all got to keep that same energy. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't listen to the Joe Budden podcast as much, besides the clips that constantly go viral, of course. But I don't get on them as much either, because they seem to actually, like I said, in their defense, they seem to actually speak their mind. So even if they do detract, besides Joe, even if they do detract, I kind of let it rock. Like, I kind of take it as, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Niggas don't like it, whatever. Or niggas is fucking with it, whatever. But I don't really put too much into what these niggas are saying. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Let's get into Your Rage. Your Rage also gave his first impressions of the album after listening to it. Let's see what he said.
What I've listened to, I think my hype for it was more than how good it actually was. You know, the ICEMAN tracks, the CD side, the ICEMAN side was cool. A few songs I like, a few songs I got to go back and re-listen to. I might download maybe. But that could just be right now. It could grow on me this weekend or something. But I don't know if a lot of it is for me, you know? And that's okay. It might just not be for me. You feel me? Because if it was for me, and I honestly just don't like it, then I'd probably... How many songs is there? 40, 41? Probably like 10 for 41, 12 for 41. But I ain't really finished it, so I can't say that. I ain't finished the sides, the party side yet, you know? Still gotta finish that. The Drake album, from what I've listened to, I think my hype for it was more...
Yeah, I can respect that opinion. For our first impressions, looked like he had just finished listening to it. So that's an opinion I can respect. I don't necessarily think Rage saying that is him looking for clout, and he's not necessarily one of these guys who are about to spend the next 3 months talking about how the album is trash. He obviously needs a little bit more time for the songs to grow on him. And like I was saying earlier in the stream, as a fan, on the level that I'm on, and a lot of my listeners and followers are on, the bars just hit a little bit different for us, like I said, and the album is a little bit more personal to us. So it just hits different. It's going to hit different for different people. So again, I can respect that coming from someone who is not trying to make a living off of being a Drake detractor. You know what I'm saying? If that's your honest opinion, that's your honest opinion, you know. There's not too much you can do about that. Um, Lost in Vegas, we'll jump to them. They believe that Make Them Remember is rap song of the year, but it won't get the credit it deserves due to Drake hate. In the Drake hate psyop, that started 2 years ago, where retractors were crowning beat, boop, boop, bam as the standard in hip hop. Okay, let's get into a little bit of that.
Rhymes into, you know what fucked up rap? This is what I've always wanted to say. You know those little videos on YouTube, man, where they highlight the rhyme schemes? And what I mean is they'll highlight the rhyme schemes. They'll color code the rhyme schemes, right? I think kids got caught up in rhyme schemes and trying to match syllables and complexity of rhyme schemes, and they completely lost the art of understanding if someone's saying something profound or compelling. They got caught up in matching syllables and counting rhyme schemes, and oftentimes these syllables and rhyme schemes that are complex are saying absolutely nothing. So that became the standard of what a great rapper is supposed to be lyrically.
Let them cook.
Drake is the type of rapper. Jay-Z is the type of rapper that they have so many. If you read what they said on paper, there's so many layers to what they're saying, right? Without actually having to be overly wordy in most cases, which doesn't say nearly as much as what they say. Like when Jay-Z said, "I'm not black, I'm OJ." Okay, if you read that on a piece of paper, you'd be like, "Oh, it's basic. He's not lyrical. He's not saying anything." But there's so much to that line, and maybe I'll break that song down another time. But there's so much to that line, and it's brilliantly written. It's extremely lyrical, but it looks basic on paper. So kids and I would say people born, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone because I know there's a lot of people born in this time frame that do know bars, but I would say generally speaking, man, I've noticed there's like a lack of comprehension and understanding of how idioms and things like that, these innuendos and the lyricism, that just isn't something that I think people grasp, right? Post 1997 on up, it just seems like motherfuckers just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Not all of y'all, but y'all struggle with that. Let's take this for example. He said, after the coming off with saying LeBron switched teams up, he said, "I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently, the title of the book is called Foolin' Fools. Y'all was riding all summer, pedal bars going number one, and yet y'all trying to tell me who's grooming who? So much in that, right?" He said, "I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently, y'all, the rules of engagement changed, right? I never got a copy of that. The goalpost, I guess the goalpost continues to move. I guess I'm just, because when it comes to me, the goalpost moves. I never got a copy of the newest rules. Apparently, the title of the book is called Foolin' Fools." So what does Drake mean when he says that? He means that a lot of people, throughout the course of these 2 years, fell for the banana in the tailpipe. They fell for the PDF, perpetuating PDF rumors. They just believed everything as it relates to Drake. Do y'all know that there was a thing concerning this dude named Ebony Prince? I didn't even know at the time. I was kind of catching wind of it throughout the battle. Apparently, some dude that had a Twitter account named Ebony Prince Jr. was saying that he caught Drake on camera, and he swore he had hotel proof of Drake being on hotel camera proof of Drake dealing with some disabled dude and doing some weird sexual things with this disabled dude, and everybody believed that shit. So it's just like, what that told me is like, oh, people are really like, either they just are filled with so much hatred that they know this is not true, but they're going to push the rumor anyway, or they're just really lacking in the intellectual department, right? So when he says the title of the book is called Foolin' Fools, y'all fell for it. Y'all got fooled by lies, gossip, nonsense, right? The fans are the fools. You were able to fool the fools. You know what I'm saying? Mass manipulation from people who are weak-minded and can't think independently is what Drake is saying there. Y'all was riding all summer, pedal bars going number one, and yet y'all want to trying to tell me who's grooming who. You were riding along, listening to Not Like Us all summer, that contained pedophilia bars, pedal bars, right? Riding around all summer like it was all fine and dandy, you know what I mean? And then you trying to tell me who's grooming who. Like, you guys made it cool and sort of desensitized the masses into thinking a song calling a man a PDF was fun and you could just dance to it, have a good time to it, right? That in itself, this sort of it being desensitized, right? Calling someone a PDF, saying the word PDF in a song in itself is sort of desensitizing the masses to it, which is in a sense could be looked at as grooming. I think is what Drake's point is. That could be looked at as grooming. No one's taking that shit seriously anymore, and it's the most heinous word. One of the most heinous words in our language is being sort of downplayed and again desensitized, right? So I think that's his way of saying that. And then he said y'all was riding around all summer, pedal bars going number one. I think that's also a play on pedal bars, right? You think of a kid pedaling a bike, riding around on a bike, pedals, right? You're thinking again, you're grooming kids, pedal bars, pedal bikes, right? Riding around all summer. You guys are making it cool for kids to, to sing along with Not Like Us, pedal bars, bikes. So I think that's a tie in there somehow. Yeah, but super dope from Drake. Excellent writing, man. Some of his best writing ever.
Yeah, I obviously like how he, pointed out just how much people were basically pointing out the same aspect, not the same exact bar, but pointing out the same aspect that I pointed out in that song is just people wanting to believe the lies, wanting to believe anything just because they don't want to see this man win. Because they don't want to have to admit that he's the greatest of all time. It's, for whatever reason, it's a tough pill for these niggas to swallow. I'll go back to LeBron. When LeBron won that ring in Cleveland against the Golden State Warriors, I said, look, you know what? This is the year I stopped doubting LeBron. Okay? Because ain't no telling what might happen with this nigga. Ain't no telling. The odds could be stacked against him. It could look shady. It could look crazy for him. He could have no backup, but he still might just pull it out. Pause. He still might just do it. Then he came to the Lakers. Then I really had nothing else to say about him. I still don't, because he's a Laker. But I get what Drake's feeling. But as soon as he ain't a Laker no more, we on his ass. Don't worry. But he a Laker right now. Okay? As soon as he take his ass back to Cleveland, or he might just stay in LA. Who knows? But that's besides the point. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You feel me? Let's get into another one. We got Sneeko. He gave his review of the album as well. Even though Sneeko got his ass whooped by Act, we'll give his album review a listen.
Great album, W ICEMAN. Great album. 8 out of 10, or 8.5 out of 10. Really liked it. Incredible visuals. Really, really well done. Great production. Should have had a feature. What would you guys rate it out of 10? Give it an 8.5. It's my favorite Drake album in a long time, almost a decade. Listen to all this stuff. Six God, astaghfirullah. I like the Free Palestine mention, the Mashallah, astaghfirullah. Some of the bars are corny, but it's not a Drake album without some corny lines. I like corny bars. I do. You're going to be hearing this all summer. He knows when to drop. He understands timing. He understands social media well. Good marketing with Shane Gillis. You get the white guys. You get the Arabs. You're farming the Persians. The DJ Khaled was smart. Tapping into the streaming world with academics, Ben Adon, and Ada Ross. Nobody's listening to this all summer. You're going to hear it everywhere all summer, bro. I don't know why. No one's playing this. You think you're cooler? Like, this is just what's going to happen, bro.
Yeah, this is just what's going to happen. The niggas is going to continue to play the album. It's going to continue to do numbers. Y'all niggas is going to continue to cry on the sidelines. We're going to continue to enjoy it. I almost skipped past this one. Complex seemingly dropped a review of the album as well. Let's see what they said about it.
Early review, Iceman is Drake's best album since Views. What's popping, y'all? For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose, and I spent the entire weekend spinning Iceman on repeat. And not only do I think it's the best album out of the 3 he dropped on Friday, but it has Drake's most focused rapping in a decade. There was obviously
That's what I said. I feel like this is Drake's most lyrical album. This is Drake's most lyrical album he's put out.
a lot riding on this album, but I never expected that he wouldn't bring up the rap beef, even though he said, fuck a rap beef, I'm trying to get the party lit on Give Me a Hug. The battle is still top of mind for Drake, but we also get honest reflections on his mental state at the top on Make Them Cry, where he talks about his fear of aging and his mental health deteriorating. 3 beat switches, earnest storytelling. This intro is rivaling Tuscan Leather as one of his best. Drake delivered for the fans who wanted the 5-minute long rap tracks with no hook and immaculate beats on all of the Make Them records that feel like pseudo timestamp songs. They're a mix of self-reflection.
Yeah, that's also what I said too. It feels like he put like 3 or 4 timestamps on this album. It's like, how can you deny this ability of rapping? How can you deny this level of artistry? Like, how can you deny it? If you denying it, you just look crazy.
Bitterness, scorn, and sneak dissing. And I understand how that rubs people the wrong way, but at least he's honest. Drake was up in Pusha T 4 years after the beef, so if nothing else, he's consistent with his ability to hold the grudge. Then he delivered the more chart-friendly club songs with Too Hard for the Radio.
And it's safe to say that he's going to do the same thing with this. I would not expect Drake to let up. He never let up on Pusha T. I would expect him to do the same thing here.
And then Shut the Fuck Up, and reunited with Future on Ran to Atlanta along with the rising star Molly Santana. It's impressive that even when he made 3 albums that are meant to appeal to the different corners of a massive fan base, he still finds a way to do a little something for everybody on this album. But Iceman's thesis is in Firm Friends. 5 minutes of straight bars over a beautiful Conductor Williams beat with Drake leaning into his most paranoid thoughts, but still taking some accountability along the way. I'm not the villain or the victim, he raps. What's most impressive to me about Iceman is that, for better or worse, it's clear Drake learned nothing about poking the bear and is still confident enough in his abilities as a rapper that he doesn't care if he wakes Kendrick up again. Some might call that stupid, but as a rap fan, I can't help but respect the blind bravery. The pen still works, and the boy who lived somehow managed to come.
Yeah, and that's what the niggas who know he won, we know he won. He can pop his shit. Who gives a fuck about waking up a bear who couldn't outbar you? Who gives a fuck about waking up a bear with no fucking teeth? We don't give a fuck about that shit.
Come back with even better bars than before. Iceman delivered. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. For Complex, I'm Jordan Rose, and make sure to shop at Complex for exclusive vinyl and merch. Peace.
All right, another fair review from Complex. These niggas must be trying to get an interview, huh? These niggas trying to get an interview. I don't know if y'all niggas gonna get it. I think Drake might be done with the interviews after all of that. No, I don't know. We'll do one more before we get out of here. These are some Kendrick fans, apparently, Kendrick fan reactors. They give Iceman a genuine review, becoming the bigger fans and saluting greatness. Let's get into this one here.
I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there. You definitely gotta go get this album at 10. As we were sitting and recorded, I'm like, yo, I can't
Wow, gave it a 10.
wait to actually go tell people how dope this album is, because I didn't really hear anything about it. Nobody told me how dope it was. I heard a little bit of this, I heard a little bit of that, but people I heard it from was like Drake fans and Drake stans. So you expect them to say this is Drake's best work. So if they said it to me, I wouldn't even took it at face value. But just sitting here and listening to it, I was definitely impressed. I did not know Drake had this in him. I know he was a great artist, but I not expect 18 songs and at least 17 of them being straight fire. Definitely I'll be listening to. We do a lot of albums over here. This is the best album to come out this year, hands down. I don't care what nobody say. This is definitely the best album that came out, and you like this Drake. And I noticed with like certain artists when they get into these beef situations and they so-called lose, they come back out fighting for their lives. AKA with Meek Mills with the Drake situation. When he came back out, he was coming out with dope music. Jay-Z with Nas with the Ether. After Ether, Jay-Z started coming out with stronger music. And the same thing with Drake. You did lie down in them situations, or you would come out swinging with your best music because you know people are trying to write.
And they wanted Drake to lie down. Think about all the Drake should have disappeared. He's done. They wanted him to just lie down and let these niggas rewrite history. It just wasn't going to happen. We wasn't letting it happen.
You all, and if you don't come with your best music, then they're gonna write you off. People wanted to write Drake off, but with an album like this, there's no way even possible to even try to write him back off. Just with this album, he did exactly what he wanted.
Undeniable, as I said. The music is speaking for itself. It's undeniable. You talking crazy and saying that this album is trash, it just makes you look weird. It makes you look crazy. It makes your credibility go down the drain. Because niggas can't listen to you in confidence. Niggas like an Anthony Fantano, shit like that. We can't listen to you in confidence and believe that you're giving an objective review about anything. We can't listen to you. We can't listen to you niggas. It starts to make you niggas look crazy after a while.
Wanted to, he came right back to the top of the game like he never left. I'll say with this album right here, it's clear and it's easy to say the K-Dot era is officially over and the game is right back to Drake, just like that. If I'd have rated this on a 1 to 10, I already said it was a 10. It was a dope album. I can't wait to check out some of the music videos and stuff from here. I'm definitely even more of a Drake fan now, more than I was 2 hours. More than I was 2 hours ago before that we started this. But like he said, with this music right here, he's gonna make a lot of people a fan. If you don't become a fan, you're just a fucking hater because the music that's been coming out since the time he's been gone has not been on this level, has not been this impressive with the production, the beats, and he's not sounding like nobody. He's sounding like Drake. You didn't hear no songs be like, oh, he sounding like this person. He trying to steal this person's style. Nah, he just in his own lane, and it was dope.
Another fair review, man. Another fair review. You gotta respect it coming from a Kendrick fan himself, apparently. I don't know the validity of that, but it's seemingly so. I would think so. But yeah, you gotta respect it. You gotta salute it. And we appreciate niggas coming through and just giving your honest thoughts, even if you feel more like your rage, where it's like, all right, this might be too many songs. I need some time to digest it, and you know what I'm saying. Out of 43 songs, I probably heard 12 that I like, and that cool. You know what I'm saying? Because even me, as I've said multiple times in the stream, I haven't listened to both of the second albums as much as I have Iceman. So it's a different vibe for me going into those albums and trying to give a fair review of them. Even when I was rating them, doing the tier list, I can give my impressions, and I rank those two off of my impressions. But as far as how I feel about Iceman, it's not there yet with these two albums. I just haven't given them the listen. I just haven't given them the time of day that I have Iceman. So it's going to take a little time. And again, I respect reviews that say that. I respect reviews that you saying what you feel, and it's not about you trying to make a living off trashing every fucking Drake picture and quote and album and single, and it gets tiresome after a while. It's like, what are we doing here? Are you a fan page or not? Like, we gotta just call shit what it is, okay? But yeah, I hope you guys appreciate us doing this here. We'll do some more of these, ranking albums, music, whatever. Okay, probably next stream we'll go in and rank each song on the album next. Okay, and just get into Iceman a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm gonna listen to more Habibti and Maid of Honor and get myself right on that. But this is just was strictly the Iceman review. We'll get to the other albums. We got more topics and things to get to that I didn't get to, but I believe we are running on. Yeah, we're almost running on about 3.5 hours. So I'm gonna call it here. I appreciate everybody that stopped through the stream. Again, whatever platform you are watching this on, go ahead and give this a like. Make sure you're following us. Hit that bell notification so that you're notified every time we go live. It might be a little spotty right now because, as I said, the Doja Room is changing locations. So bear with me. As like I said, the streams might be a little bit spotty, more than you guys are used to, but we're still here. We're still locked in. Of course, I was going to pop out for Iceman. I wasn't going to leave you guys for that. And yeah, we're going to continue to do as much as we can, okay? Stream as much as possible, and make sure we get back into the loop of things, okay? Again, I'm your boy, Dope Boy Diesel. I appreciate you guys for stopping into the Doja Room. Make sure you're following me on X and get into that Doja Room community so that you can keep up with the streams. You can keep up with the articles. We will be dropping an article on Iceman, just because there's so many of these articles that we don't even pay attention to now. We need an article for us, by us, and that was the intent when I set out and started making articles. So we'll be back on that as well. Make sure you look out for that. Again, make sure you're following me on X at Dope Boy Diesel. You can follow me on all platforms at Dope Boy Diesel. And yeah, make sure you are locked in and subscribed on all platforms. We're going to be right back before you know it, okay? All right, appreciate you guys. So all my stoners, hippies, and hip-hop enthusiasts, this has been Doja Room, and I'm out.
Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry all in these.